Hi everyone, Dave here, Hollybush Railway. We did a live stream for a wee while. And I've just got the new 37 yesterday. That's the new TT120 Class 37 37408, I think is the number, Lochranach. Did a little video sort of first impressions review of it yesterday, and it seems to be a pretty good model. It looks fantastic to me. Seems to be a good runner. I thought I would do a live stream just now, let it run for a while, see how we get on with it. I also got Blink Bonnie on the other main line loop today. So yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. Hope you're all having a good time, excited for Christmas. Yeah, if there's anything you want to ask about the layout, about the 37, or just want to say hi in the chat, leave a message there, give you a shout out. I always forget that happens. It's my little homemade lighting system for the Pullmans. It's operated by a magnet, but the magnet in the motor of the Class 66 is powerful enough to switch it on. Let's turn that other one on as well. This will be the case when it goes round again. We'll find out that it's orientated, that it's going to switch off the coach lights in the middle coach this time, isn't it? And it's coming round again. Let's see what happens. Oh, they're all still on. I don't know if you probably have watched this, the video that Peachy TT120 made about the new Mark II coaches that are coming. They mentioned in that Hellion are working on a little motion sensitive light bar for those coaches. And I'll be interested to see if I can fit them into Hornby coaches as well. If they're motion sensitive rather than operated by a magnet, then that might solve this problem where when the magnetic latching lead switch goes past a locomotive with a powerful magnet, then it turns it on and off.
Move the camera a wee bit so I've got the space to move around a wee bit more.
I've not done any kind of tests yet to see just how much the 37 can haul. But I've got 5 of the coaches on just now. It's hauling them no bother. What have we got in the chat there? 156 Andrew 8. Hello. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to this little live stream running session. Putting the Class 37 through its paces today. Just got mine yesterday. Filmed a little first impressions video of it. I've got a chance to sit down and let it run for a while and see how it performs. I'm really impressed with it. Famous for shortbread supply. The last live stream I did, I just got the first vinyl pressing of an album that one of my old bands did. It's just been reissued on vinyl. There's a song on there about Scottish cliches called Shortbread Tins and Tartan Hats. I talked about this in the video on the 37. I like that it's a locomotive that I don't have to know number one to have here at Hollybush. Hollybush Railway is a fictional location, but it's loosely based on a few different locations in Ayrshire. And you would see 37s on the, not so much with passenger traffic, but with the coal traffic. I've got it on passenger duty today. I need to get some more of the big coal hopper wagons. I've only got the two that the Class 08's with there at the moment. Lots of 7 planks, but not much modern wagons for coal here at the moment.
In fact, let's bring the 7 planks in. And a couple of 21 tons as well.
Hello to Delft Junction Pete. Thank you very much. This is just going to be quite a chilled out, just watching a few trains go by kind of stream today. I don't know about everyone else, but I'm kind of struggling to stay awake already tonight. Always the same every year. As soon as the Christmas holidays start, don't realise how tired I am until I've stopped working, and then I'm just zonked. So yeah, just gonna sit and watch some trains go by for a while.
Let's have a slightly different angle. Let's move the camera around a wee bit. Oops. If I bring it down to here, let's get a look at the lights on the 37. It's DC, so you don't get the full set of lights that you do with the HM7000 or DCC control, but you still get the directional headlights. Repeat saying 37 and Pullmans, two of my favourites. You kind of get the angles. The Pullmans, that's going right back to my first TT set, back with Blink Bonnie pulling them. That's the Scotsman set right there. Right through to the 37, which only just arrived yesterday. I'm just saying, I believe Christmas Day, RDJ trains mostly talk about next year, brand new service in 2025. I'll be live. Cool, I hope you have a good one with that stream. Cheers, Pete. There is an etched nameplate for the 37 in the accessories bag, but I haven't put it on yet. Same with the 66, I haven't put the accessories bag nameplate onto it either yet. There's a few different things that the 37 Locarno came with. It's got snow ploughs. I think they fit into the NEM socket, so you could have a snow plough instead of the front coupling. It's got the etched nameplate, and there's all sorts of extra brake pipes and tiny little fittings. I think some of them are kind of more for display purposes. I need to have a closer look at the instructions to see what you can fit when it's running and what you can only fit when it's for display. This one is very much for running. And cheers for clicking the like button. It's appreciated. Send little Normandy around with some freight. Right, catch you again, Pete. Cheers for coming in. Thanks for the subscription. And Andrew saying, speaking of Class 37, one running from to Bowness from Crewe. It's a fair trek. I've been meaning to get along to the Bowness Railway. I've not been. It is definitely on my list of places that I must get round to going. I was down at the Doon Valley Railway down in Ayrshire this summer. That was a nice day out. I must get to Bowness sometime this year, or this year coming. Yeah, I've seen photos and videos, and it looks brilliant. Trying to think now what would be the easiest way to get to it from Glasgow. Probably train to Linlithgow and a bus from Linlithgow to Bowness. I don't drive, so I'm going to work out how to get places. That could be a video idea for the summer coming. A trip out to there. Same to Falkirk, but easier way to get there. Right, cheers, I'll bear that in mind. Had a lovely day out in Falkirk last month with the Falkirk Model Railway Show. Some excellent layouts at that. You're hoping to get there for the diesel gala. Probably a good chance of a good few 37 sightings there. Hi Greg. Still waiting on your 37 now. Hopefully it's not too far away. Although they're going to be cutting it fine to get it to you for Christmas now. Sit here and pretend to be pleased for you that you've got yours. Jealousy's a terrible thing, Greg. How do you rate the 37? It's every bit the measure of the 66 to me. I mean, I've only had it a day, so this is very much first impressions. It looks the part. It looks brilliant to me. Mine's been a very smooth runner. There's a good heft to it as well. It's pretty weighty, probably about the same kind of weight as the 66, I reckon. And you know, touch wood, so far I've not had a single issue with it. I was thinking before the end of the year I might do a little sort of 2025 roundup top models of the year kind of thing. I've only got a handful of new locals. The 37, the Terrier, and the B4. I did get a 50, but unfortunately I had problems with it and it had to go back. I just got unlucky with that one. Because I know most people I know a lot of people that rate the 50 as one of their best locals. I'd be really hard pressed though to say which is my favourite. the 37. Obviously, it is a big, impressive beast, that local, and it's one that ran in Ayrshire, and the detailing on it is fantastic. I think. Off the 66 but the 50 pips. Yeah. I wish I had the same luck with the 50 as you did. I'll need to get another one at some point. It was Leviathan that I wanted, the big logo blue. I just like that livery. But yeah, the one I had was just had something was short circuiting in it. Must have been a Friday afternoon solder job at the factory. Got a bit of a dud with it and it short circuited. Short circuited so badly that it blew the circuit box in my flat. I don't know what was wrong with it. But yeah, Hornby couldn't sort it and they'd sold out by that point, which is it's a shame because it's a lovely looking locomotive, and I don't know anyone else who's had such bad luck with the 50. They seem to be really good runners for everybody else. Definitely got a soft spot for the Terrier. It's such a pretty locomotive, and it's completely out of location and out of era for what I want Hollybush to be for the main part. You could have a little heritage branch line where you can rule number one anything else. But then the B4, it's a charming little locomotive and an absolute bargain for the price. I mean, gotta love a bargain. Yeah, it's been a good year for TT. Obviously there's other stuff that's come out that I don't have. Credit card can only stretch so far. Absolutely, yeah, the B4 is way better than it's got any right to be at the price. Hornby have not shortchanged us on that one. When they announced it, I really did wonder how well such a small locomotive would work, particularly DC with Dead Frog points. But it runs through my goods yards at a reasonably realistic slow speed for shunting, without any bother at all. It was some job you did finding space for a stay alive in it. think I might bring the terrier out. Let's just change location again. And we'll stop Lochranach in Hollybush Station. Actually, if I bring the camera up a bit, it does a nice slow run. What's next? There's a few things in mind. The main thing that's next is paying off the credit card for all these new locomotives. There's a few bits and pieces that need finished off around the station. Yeah, I'm definitely not the only one with that problem. I do want to rejig the junction onto the high level line. But I could have planned that a lot better. If you'll excuse the shaky cam here, let's have a look at it. So that is the point that goes on to the high level line. And it initially was just going to be a siding there. Then it evolved into this plan here to build this, the incline section. So the weakness is that you can only access it from one of the main lines from the outer loop. So I want to replace that with a diamond crossing, put a point there, and then put a point here and a point here, so that you can get onto the incline from both lines in both directions. But that will involve a lot of lifting tracks and tearing stuff up and not running trains for a while, so I'm holding off on actually doing that. And then of course there's the incline line itself doesn't actually go anywhere at the moment. I've still to build the extension onto the baseboard for where that line will end up. It pretty much just hits a dead end after the bridge in the background there at the moment. Once I've got around to redoing the junction, then I can glue down the track on the incline, ballast that, build the extension. And I'm thinking either a small country station or a coal depot. The curves on the incline is a bit tight to the wall. It does just have clearance for the Mark III coaches, but really it's built more with much smaller rolling stock in mind. It's not going to be somewhere that express trains are flying up. It's going to be slow, small local services and freight trains and things like that. Is what I had in mind for that line. I also need to properly build a bit more of the tunnel section at the back. There's the branch line for Dalrymple station at the moment that the Terrier's running on. Goes into a little tunnel mouth just after the station at Dalrymple. And I want to have a scenic section up on top of that, so behind the incline line. There's a very basic start of it. I can zoom the camera right in. So that's all just sitting loose on top of a sheet of plywood with a tunnel mouth at the moment. And I want to extend that to a street scene behind the line on the incline wall there. So there's a lot of things that I've got in mind to do. But as to when and any of them will actually happen, I'm not in any rush to do any of them. Cheers for joining for a while, Greg. Nice to chat to you. Take care, catch you again soon. And Merry Christmas, if I don't hear from you before. Another thing that I've got in mind as well is some of these terrace buildings. They were made quite early on when I started modelling, just a few years ago. And I'm thinking that I could probably make a better job of them now. Remake them with actual windows rather than just the printed ones that came in the template that I found. So many of the Metcalf kits come with spare windows, so you can choose a couple of different styles for whatever model you're making. So I've got lots of spare printed window sheets. So I'm thinking try and remake the terraced houses at some point using those, go to the bother of cutting the windows out, make a bit more of an internal scene for them. Get some of those lighting switches that come on and off randomly, so it looks like there's people switching lights on in rooms. Again, it's just a thought at the moment. When I'll actually have the time to do it, I'm not sure. Might get a chance to do one or two things over the Christmas holidays. We'll see how time goes. Nope. I was on the wrong controller there. I've stopped Blink Body when I meant to stop the Terrier, but I have stopped it in the station at least. Unscheduled stop at Hollybush. Now, there's one thing I haven't done yet. I've not sent the 37 up the incline. Let's switch the points out for that. Let's see how it handles a hill. And it's got 5 coaches on it at the moment. And also remember the track for the incline is still sitting loose at the moment, so it's not the best track. I'm only on about half power. I know there is a bit of a bad junction, bad bit of track coming up on there, so it might stop. And it did stop. That's the bit of track that I need to fix. But yeah, that was 5 coaches up the incline, no bother. There's a little bit of a bad fish plate or something that I need to sort out before I properly lay the track on the incline, because everything is just stopping at that section there, so something isn't quite joining up right. But when I do next get to work on the incline line, I want to replace a lot of the track with flex track, because at the moment it's just using the very short sections of Hornby set track, so there's a lot of joints. And I think if I'm using the much longer sections of track, the kind of metre long sections that you get with the flex track, as well as doing a little bit of fettling work just to sort out the peak of the incline where it flattens out, you can get that running properly. Excuse me, the voice is going tonight. I need to give it just a little bit of a shove to get it started again. There we go.
So yeah, there's a little bit of work still to do on the incline line, but that's been my big project for 2025, was just getting it this far. It needs a bit of tweaking to get it running perfectly, but it's the first time that I've ever built a model railway that has an incline on it at all. And hello to Jonathan James. Thank you very much. Yeah, so hello to anyone who didn't catch the start of this live stream. Just quite a chilled out one tonight, just watching some trains go by. Mostly so I can get a chance to have a really good look at the 37 running. That's a new one that just arrived yesterday. That's my BR Large Local Blue Loch Rannoch. Orbione Kenobi 37 just arrived an hour ago. Fantastic. I hope you're getting on well with it. I hope it's a good runner. Which one have you got? I've got the Loch Rannoch one here. Do you like a BR large logo?
Jonathan James saying, I've been working on my TT120 layout for about a year now, called Roysdale. Thinking of starting a YouTube channel myself because it's so cool. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's a nice thing to do, to have the YouTube channel, because it gives you a kind of a document of the progress that you're making. It's kind of interesting to kind of look back on older videos and see how far things have come and get ideas for what you want to do in the future. And generally I have found the TT120 community on YouTube to be really friendly and supportive. So yeah, if you get a channel set up, give us a shout with the links and get subscribed. And all the best for Roysdale. Sounds like you're going to be in for a good Christmas. Yeah, it's going to be cool getting a few more new locos. What have you got coming? the EWS 37, the Mochranock 37, Class 50 NSE. That's a nice selection of locomotives there. Go well with the 66 and the Intercity. That's good stuff, that. The Network Southeast Class 50, that's a nice looking loco. Like that livery. Obviously it's a very long way from anything that would prototypically run up here. I hope they all run well for you. And then of course it's not going to be too long into 2026 before we're going to be due another round of announcements. We had the 37s last January. Do we think there's going to be anything announced in January this year? And of course, January is usually when they do the big 00 announcements. But sometimes after that, they'll slip a little TT thing afterwards. I'm not sure if there will be or not. It's April when we tend to get the big TT plans for the coming year. I think that's when we'll see most things. And if you're on the Hornby forums, the big question is, are we going to see a Black 5? Been away from the hobby for about 35 years, just got back into it. Yeah, that's pretty similar to me. I had a 00 layout when I was a wee boy. Then hadn't done much in the hobby for a long time after that. I got a hankering for a train set over lockdown, stuck at home with nothing to do. And then when I saw they announced TT, I've only got a small flat here, so I was thinking I wouldn't really be able to do much in 00. But when they announced TT, I thought this looks like what could work. Now the question is, if I had known more about model railways then, if I knew now what I knew then, would I have gone for N instead of TT?
of course N is that little bit smaller again, so I could fit even more into the space that I've got here, and there's a more established range. I think for me personally, it would just be that little bit too small for me. And I've gone round to lots of model railway exhibitions. I've seen some spectacular stuff in N gauge, but I'm not far off 6'5" and can be kind of clumsy. So I think anything smaller than TT I would struggle with myself. And 00, I just really wouldn't be able to fit anything much in here. So yeah, TT, spot on for me as well. Obviously it would be nice to be modelling in something where whatever model I wanted, I could go out and somebody would be making it, and I could just go out and buy anything that I wanted just now. If you had the same range in TT as you have in 00 and you have in N, well, that little bit more limited in the models available because it's such a new scale to the UK. But yeah, I think it's going to work for me. DJ Chips and Garlic, hello, how you doing? How's your layout coming along? Have you been able to get the point technical problem that you were having sorted? Still doesn't, that's frustrating. Yeah, if you can't sort it, and it says still causing problems, the Hornby are very good at replacing things that don't work. So yeah, if you've got a point that isn't getting power to one of the lines, and you can't get it to run properly, just yeah, give Hornby customer services a shout. I've always found them very, very helpful for sorting things. That's good, they're going to get you sorted out. Hopefully they can get that fixed for you. And with electrical engineering on the kind of scale that you do it in model railways, it's kind of a wonder that any of it actually ever works, because it's so tiny and so fiddly. That's kind of the point of today's stream, is to give the new 37 a good run out, see how it performs with a good long running session today. So far it's handling it brilliantly. In fact, I think it's going to outlast my camera, because I just get the notification that the battery's about to die. Bear with me a moment. Let's get this plugged into a power bank. Right. There we go. Right, catch you again soon, Jonathan James. All the best with your layout, and yeah, do give us a shout if you do set up your YouTube channel. Now that is quite a mixed freight that the 08 has got. That is not prototypical running. And now that I've got the 37, need a bit more rolling stock for it. It's running today with the one Mark II coach that I have, and then a rake of Mark Is. Those Mark Is are more usually pulled by Blink Bonnie. You do see them with Mark Is, I think, on Heritage specials. I don't know if they ever pulled Mark Is in regularly scheduled passenger services normally. And you're going to be looking at the Mark IIs that Peachy, TMC and Hellion are working on. Definitely interested in the BR Blue. If you're listening, if you do bring out that ScotRail livery, I will definitely be getting some.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan, just to kind of get you started and um, yeah, see kind of how you like to run it. The Hornby track packs and those loops, it's a nice wee starting place. Something to do a bit of mainline running, a bit of shunting. Get a feel for what kind of operations you like doing it, what you like to watch. And how you like to operate it as well. If you're going to be, if you're going to be incorporating mechanical uncouplers and things like that for the shunting, or if you're just going to do it manually like I do here. And it's a good idea to run your layout for a while before you really move on to fixing it down, because you will most likely run into things that you didn't think of initially, like me with the junction onto the incline line that can only be accessed from one of the mainline loops at the moment. So that's going to be a job to rejig that junction, because it's all stuck down and ballasted. But just because it is stuck down and ballasted, and it'll be a bit of a faff to change it. Yeah, it's not impossible. If you have glued or pinned your track down, don't get into the mindset that is it absolutely permanent, and you're not going to be able to change things. Yeah, experiment and get things as right as you can before you move on to a more kind of semi-permanent state. But there's nothing in the build that can't be undone. Yes, it is definitely a long project. These are definitely things that are more marathon than sprint. Hollybush, as it is just now, this is 3 years in the making, and it still feels like kind of fairly early days. If I look back over older videos, you can see how things have changed and evolved over time with the track plan, with the scenery. But just like any town, these are never absolutely finished. There's always things that can change. Yeah, the Class 08s are very, very handy little things. Just as they were on the real layout, on the real railways. On the real layouts, yeah, like the real railways are layout. Let's bring mine back round. Yeah, this is not a cheap hobby, is it? So the '08 that I've got, this is one of the original TT120 '08s. The ones that are coming down, I think there's a new BR Blue one that is still on pre-order, I think. I don't think they've shipped it yet. But it's got a few upgrades from this version. Most importantly, they've switched out the motor from the 3-pole motor that's in this one for a coreless motor, like Normandy and the Terrier have, and they are much more reliable. Thornaby, yeah, that's the new one with the coreless motor. Unfortunately, I have had a couple of the 3-pole motors fail and have to get sent back to Hornby for replacements. They've replaced the motor in that '08 once. If you've got anything with a 3-pole motor in it, you know, most of them run okay, but the failure rate is a little bit higher than it should be, which is why they're only using coreless motors and 5-pole motors going forward. But Richard Bayliss of This Way Works, Bayliss Bespoke Design, does a couple of replacement motor kits, and I've replaced the motor in Blink Bonnie. It was a 3-pole originally. I've replaced it with one of his coreless motors, and it does run more smoothly. Blink Bonnie, with it being the absolute first TT120 locomotive, it's very good, but they have learned more things as they've gone on and developed more of them. So it's been a kind of continual progress from Hornby of taking what they've learned from each model and applying it to future ones. So everything that's come out has been getting better and better. That Thornaby '08, if they get that right, that should be a really good one. Oh, 101. Hellion have got a real... Let me just check which one the 101 is. Because Hellion have got a TT rail car coming out. And I can't remember if it's the Class 101 or if it's a different class. Aye, it's the Class 122 that Hellion are doing. So there isn't a Class 101 in TT as yet. But yeah, keep an eye out for any news. I'm sure it's the kind of thing that somebody will bring out eventually. The Class 122 it's not massively dissimilar as a single car rather than a multiple unit. Hellion have got that rail car and the Deltic available to pre-order. I think they're expected sometime next year. I'm not sure exactly when. I'm just going to put a link in the chat to Hellion's announcement there. So I've got the BR Blue 122 on pre-order. That's got the Inverness to Aberdeen printed destination boards on it. I would love a few DMUs for this scale. Particularly for me, a Class 156, I'd love one of them. When I had a double O layout when I was very young, one of my favourite trains I had for that was a Class 156 in Strathclyde Reds, the bright orange livery, which was what the trains that I was actually going on at the time were running in. And I am, to this day, still quite often travelling on Class 156s. It's just gone 6 o'clock, so I think I'm going to think about kind of winding the stream down today. Go get something for my dinner. Thank you very much to everyone who's joined me tonight. Hope you've enjoyed this little pre-Christmas live stream. Let's look at the 37. Thanks to everyone who has tuned in and commented and chatted, clicked like,
If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do. There'll be lots of things coming up in 2026 here at Hollybush Railway. Take care. See you again soon. I hope you all have a fantastic Christmas and New Year if I'm not online before then. Cheers, tight Scotsman. From one tight Scotsman to another. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you all. I'll catch you all again soon. Bye.